We have automated the backend. Your software routes autonomously. Your physical supply chain manufactures at the speed of an API call. But in a macroeconomic environment, where every competitor has access to the exact same zero marginal cost production engines, how do you differentiate? The Internet of 2026 is suffering from attention collapse. Because generative AI drove the cost of content creation to zero, the market is flooded with infinite noise. The legacy corporate response is to hire an expensive creative agency, spend 3 months developing a, quote, brand identity, and blast a static generic video campaign to 1 million people, praying for a 1% conversion rate. That is biological marketing, and it is obsolete. To survive the noise, you must stop treating branding as a human art form and start treating it as a deterministic compute problem. You must build the synthetic brand, an autonomous media engine capable of generating hyper-personalized, multimodal assets on the fly. We are going to obliterate the marketing agency and replace it with a creative swarm. Let's re-architect your go-to-market media strategy. We are moving from batch and blast to contextual synthesis. The architecture begins at Node 1, the cultural scraper. This is an agentic cluster that does not sleep. It ingests the global latent space of trending topics, semantic shifts, and aesthetic movements in real time. It maps the current psychological state of your target demographic. It doesn't rely on human intuition. It relies on algorithmic sentiment analysis. When an intent signal is detected from the pipeline we built in Season 1, the scraper feeds the exact psychological context of that specific prospect into Node 2, the creative swarm. This is your autonomous agency. In milliseconds, it synthesizes a bespoke video asset. It uses your proprietary brand voice model, generates a localized script, and renders a photorealistic avatar or 3D product motion graphic perfectly tailored to the viewer's exact industry and pain point. Node 3 is the dynamic router. The prospect does not see a generic corporate ad. They see a high production value asset that references their specific company, their specific problem, rendered dynamically the exact moment their webpage loaded. It is a marketing campaign with an audience of exactly 1, generated at zero marginal cost. The math behind the synthetic brand completely breaks legacy customer acquisition models. A traditional B2B video campaign costs $50,000 to produce and test. A dynamically synthesized, hyper-personalized video asset rendered via API costs roughly 4 cents in compute. You have effectively infinite at-bats. Your creative swarm can A/B test 100,000 completely different visual and narrative hooks in a single afternoon, autonomously killing the losers and scaling the winners without a single human media buyer in the loop. This leads to real-time cultural arbitrage. Because your latency from cultural event to deployed marketing asset is milliseconds rather than months, your micro-monopoly captures the arbitrage of trending attention before the legacy brands even schedule their first creative sync. But you must engineer around this absolute danger, the uncanny valley trap. If your creative swarm churns out soulless, highly polished but emotionally vacant assets, the modern consumer's algorithmic immune system will instantly reject it. Pure automation is not the goal. Contextual resonance is the goal. Your synthetic data moat from Season 2 must be used to fine-tune the emotional parameters of your output. It must feel native, raw, and hyper-relevant. If it feels generated, it is ignored. The founders who dominate the next decade will not win because they have the best human copywriters. They will win because they have architected the most ruthless, efficient, and personalized media generation engine in their category. The brand is no longer a static logo. It is a living, breathing software loop. Your imperative today is unyielding. Audit your marketing spend. If you are paying humans a monthly retainer to guess what the market wants and manually edit video files, you are bleeding capital. Fire the agency, build the media engine, synthesize the brand. We have eradicated the human bottleneck from the UI, the physical supply chain, and the cultural brand layer. Your micro-monopoly is an autonomous juggernaut. But how do you defend an empire in a world of infinite AI agents? In the Season 3 finale, we ascend to the ultimate macro strategy. We will architect the sovereign network, deploying offensive and defensive AI swarms to negotiate, monopolize, and protect your digital territory. The brand is built. Next time, we secure the realm. Stay ruthless.